Episode 3484, Tame the Back to School Chaos.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. It's time for a happy dance. Why? Because it's Friday. Oh, yes, it is. Boy, it's been a full week. I'm sure if you're going back to school, it's a full week to you. But you know what? We can tame the back to school chaos. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by Tame, inspiring connection and community. All right, deep breath, because you know what? What is it about back to school? I mean, luckily, my kids are now older, so we're out of the traditional K through 12 or preschool through 12, but we still have college, and technically we have 3 still in college of the 5. I know it's crazy, but then we've got the grandbabies, and they have their own school between day school and Montessori school, and so it's interesting to watch them go through their schooling. But why does back to school have to be so crazy? Why? It doesn't matter if you have kids or not. Life is disrupted all around. More traffic. Maybe it's different when you go shopping at the grocery store. So instead of driving yourself crazy, know that you can tame the back to school chaos. Because we know, right? We just know. Transitioning from this easygoing, laid back, oh so cool days of summer to this hustle and bustle and I got to cram everything into a new school year, it's just chaotic. And a lot of times we are left floundering. And so whether you're a parent trying to juggle the schedules or the student bracing for new challenges going, oh my gosh, here we go, new friends, new direction, the back to school season can feel overwhelming. It can. And you sit there and you're like, there's no way we're going to get through this again. And let me tell you, the older they get, you think it would get easier, but it doesn't. It gets harder. Why? Well, because they have bigger mouths. They have a brain on their head that works differently. And so the responses to life and what comes at them is a lot different when they were, 1 to 5 years old. Now, I know it's hard sending those little ones off to kindergarten. I get it. But it's even tougher sending them off to high school and college. But fear not. Fear not. I feel like that needs to be echoed through a blowhorn across the skies. Fear not. There are ways that you can tame the back to school chaos and make this transition smooth as ice. Are you ready? Here is your K.I.S.S, the Keep It Simple strategy. Fear not. Fear not. You can't sit there and act like there's no way I'm getting through this, because overwhelm will take over. And if you are a crabby neighbor next to a family, okay, I'm being loving on you here, so just hang in there with me. If you're being that crabby neighbor, like, oh man, the school bus is going to come, and that means I have to make sure I get out at this time, or I'm going to be stuck behind the school bus all the time, right? If you're not that crabby neighbor, you know someone who is, right? I mean, come on, let's be real. And if you're honest, you've done it even if you have had kids, right? Or you got them now, and you're taking your kids to school. I've been in all of those situations, and I'm like, seriously, why did I not get out of here just 5 minutes before? And I would have been before the school bus, and now I have to stop 12 extra times if I would have just, right? We can't live our life if I would have just, because that's a justification for how we're doing life right then and there. So fear not. Allow yourself to step into something different this year. Everybody said 2024 was going to be a new year for more. Well, how do you want that to look for the start of 2024 school year, 2024 into 2025? Do you want it to be the same old thing? Or do you want to be able to impact your children, influence them to the point where when they go out into the world, and their world is their school right now, right? Their schoolyard, their friends, the band, the robotics, the Spanish club, whatever it is. And they're doing their thing. Yeah, you want them to feel confident, even though they may not know what's happening. So we have to kind of carry that armor that says, fear not, fear not. And you got to say it with like, I own this. We're going to get through it. I'm going to be tired for a little bit because, I enjoy just sleeping in a little bit longer or not having to wake up the kids. Trying to get them to go to bed at between 8 and 9. I mean, seriously, really, we should be doing that. But I know the real routine doesn't happen like that. You're pushing 11 o'clock, sometimes midnight. And then the kids wake up or they don't, and you're trying to get them out of bed, and then they're just crabby. That's no way to start your day. So how does it look to tame the back-to-school chaos if you're going to fear not? Number 1, run a routine. Establishing a routine is key. It's a key strategy for us as parents to stay organized during the back-to-school madness. Creating a consistent schedule helps your child feel secure and prepares them for what to expect each day. A schedule is a good thing. A routine is a good thing. Some people are like, I just can't do that to my kids. They don't have to go to bed at the same time every day. No, their body needs it. They need to get up every single morning at the same time and go to bed every day at the same time. Why? Because their body gets used to it. And everything else begins to function appropriately. Right? You got to look at how your cells are doing too. I know we don't talk about cells when we're talking about back to school, but let's throw some science in here and maybe a little English and math. Let's get organized and run a routine. Let's look at the schedule and say 2 plus 2 does equal 4, not 2 plus 2, maybe 5, because it's so crazy. And by setting regular bedtimes, your meal times, study times, play times, down times, movie times, we as the parents then can help our children adjust to the new school year with less stress. The weight is not so heavy. And guess what? You're not running ragged. Run a routine instead. Number 2, feel the fears. Another effective way to tackle that back-to-school chaos is to communicate. Have conversation openly with your child about their fears and their concerns. What are they feeling? Why are they scared? If you've got a kindergartner and they haven't gone to school, at least not traditional school or wherever you're sending them, and it's new, that's why they have like back to school night. Maybe you haven't started school yet. Think about that now. I know our school system started this week, so it's been great. I go outside, and it's funny because I don't have any kids right now, right? During these traditional years right now, K through 12. I've got college, and then I've got my grandbabies, but they're all preschool and lower, of course. And so I'm like, it is so nice not to have to worry about getting the kids up and saying, it's time to go to school. Mom. Now, I was very blessed. Most of the time they didn't complain, but every once in a while I did have to wake them up because they were doing too much. They ran themselves ragged. But they also had those points in time where it's like, you know what, Mom, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to talk in front of the class. I don't want to tell them or write what I did over the summer. I just want to stay in my room, and I'm okay with that. I want to read my books. Well, it'd be nice if we all could just do that, right? Do our own thing, but we got to grow up. We got to be part of our society that's productive so we can go out and impact the world that we touch. So when your kids are going through things, don't try to mute them. Don't dismiss their feelings. Don't dismiss their fears and concerns. Encourage your child to share their feelings about school openly. Validate their emotions. Offer that reassurance that, hey, it's okay. And if it's not, guess what? I'm still going to love you, and I'm going to support you every step of the way. There's nothing that you can do where I'm going to say, that's it. And when you have this open dialogue, it can help your child feel heard and understood, right? They're seen and heard. You want that. And whether or not you got it, you need to give it to your child. And that's going to help ease their anxieties about the upcoming school year, what's to come. Because it is scary at times, but we're only afraid of what we don't know. So soften the blow. Let them express themselves. Don't try to mute them. Listen instead. And finally, number 3, rest in the rush. That's hard to say fast. When I wrote it, I was like, there's no way that's coming out of my mouth. But it's true. Rest in the rush. School is not going to slow down. There's going to be deadlines. There's activities. There's going to be games. And you know what? There's going to be football games. Oh, yeah, I'm getting excited. Football's around the corner. We got to get past the Olympics. Have you been watching them? Congratulations, Holloway. He won the 100-meter hurdles. I can't say it, but I can watch it. Incredible. USA is back on the number 1 podium for that. And so I look at the Olympians right now as I watch them, I'm thinking, you know what? As crazy as their life was, they had to go through stuff, and going through school is a good thing. But we also have to remember that we can't always be in the rush. We've got to rest in it. Because if not, that means we're not taking care of ourselves. So are you taking care of yourself, mom? If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're exhausted, maybe you need to take that nap, especially if you have a young one. Don't feel guilty. Ask for help. Take time to relax and recharge, whether it's through exercise. And people are like, how is exercise relaxing? Well, for some people, it really is. I used to absolutely love running until I was like, well, I want to have my knees and hips for the rest of my life, so maybe I should slow down a bit. And I did, because I was pounding the pavement way too much. I was running on average in a 7-day period 2 marathons. Now, not all in one row, okay? But over a 7-day period, it was 2 marathons. That's a lot of miles on the hips and the knees. And I was like, I just can't do this. I want to have all my original parts when God calls me home. So it's important for us to look and say, okay, how can I rest in the rush? What do I need to do? Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's slowing down. Maybe it's saying no more than you say yes this season of life. It's okay. Maybe you need to give up something. I don't know what that is, but take the time to relax and recharge. Take the time to say, you know what? I need to really consider this before I give you an answer. Give it serious consideration and then make the decision. You don't have to drag somebody along. But allow yourself that opportunity to say, you know what, this isn't going to work for me as much as I would love to. Now is not the right season. Remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary for your well-being and the well-being of your family. The back-to-school season doesn't have to be synonymous with chaos and stress, but somehow we've made it that way. Why? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What if you made it fun? What if you looked at it as an adventure? What if you said, wow, you know what? I know my kids are going back to school, and I know some people are celebrating because they're going back to school. I was the one who was like, I really don't want them to go back to school. I love having my kids around all the time. I love having my kids around now. I'm like, bring on the party. Let's do this. But we have got to understand that there are seasons. And sometimes there are things in seasons that we don't have control over. And when you go to school, you don't have control of the schedule, do you? You don't. You've got a superintendent and a school board that says this is how the school year is going to work. Because let me tell you, depending upon how many people are in your school, they can't sit there and say, oh, well, you get a schedule, you get a schedule, you get a schedule, you get a schedule. It's like Oprah giving a car away. We can't each have our own schedule. It's got to be the same across the board. And that can really bring in this whole idea of it's chaotic. Why? Because you don't have control. Chaos comes when you don't have control. But when you establish those routines, when you have open communication with your child, when you prioritize that rest in the rush, you can then navigate this busy time with greater ease and effectiveness. You don't have to fall apart just because it seems like everything else around you is. Remember, a little preparation, taking care of yourself, it goes a long way when it comes to taming the back-to-school chaos. And so summer to school, it doesn't have to be a battle. It can be a true adventure. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life, and love your journey? Visit CreateYourNow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.